XRP and Ripple Masterclass, Everything You Must Know Part 2. In the last video, we talked about some basics of understanding XRP, Ripple, how they work together beyond just the fact that it's a cross-border payment system. And then we also talked about how Ripple has made a number of acquisitions over the last handful of years that has set it up to not just be a global payment system, but a one-stop shop for all financial needs related to digital currencies. Now in this video, we're going to talk about two more acquisitions that Ripple has, one that is still in the works and one that was already done, and both of them will answer some very important questions such as why would institutions use XRP as opposed to stablecoins? We will talk about this and more, so buckle in, here we go. Okay, first order of business, let's talk about Rail. Rail was acquired by Ripple late last year in August of 2025. And the beauty of Rail and what it allows Ripple to do is it allows them to offer companies payment transfers using stablecoins without actually touching a digital wallet. Now, this can be especially useful within a certain country and its framework. However, why wouldn't companies use this sort of method when talking about overseas transactions? There's a very, very good reason. So first, we have to understand that when you're trading with stablecoins, a lot of times it can have pretty high fees associated with it, especially when you're going between different countries. Because for example, USDC, Circle's USD stablecoin, would then have to be transferred to a completely different country's stablecoin as well. And of course, right now, there aren't very many stablecoins in other nations outside of the United States. And this brings us to our second point with stablecoins is that when you have other countries that don't have stablecoins themselves, or they just have very few stablecoins and not a lot of transfers happening within their country, you have an issue of low liquidity. Now, liquidity, you can kind of think as how many transactions are happening at any given time within this particular blockchain. So if it's a stable coin, how many transactions are happening, how many buy orders and sell orders, and if there's more of them, of course, it's easier to make transactions happen at large quantities, whereas if there's not a lot of transactions going through, it's going to take a very long time to accumulate the number of dollars, in this case with a USDC, to be able to complete that transaction. And we just saw a perfect example of how low liquidity can play out as a problem for people when a buyer of Aave just recently lost millions of dollars trying to make a transfer from a stablecoin into Aave, understanding and having to check a box saying that they understood there was low liquidity in the market and literally losing millions of dollars in the process. Now, XRP, on the other hand, has crazy high liquidity compared to some stable